Welcome to part 4 of this replay of the $2,000 two-day FTOPS No Limit Hold'em event. As you can see, we are now three-handed, and I want to recap on something that was kind of the dominant theme of the previous episode, and that will also be coming up in today's event, or in today's replay, which is that a lot of the stuff that you're going to see here is very specific to the final table and to this specific final table situation where I have a really dominating chip lead relative to my two opponents, and I also have a very strong preference as to which of these two opponents I would rather play heads up. So I don't want you to take away from this video that this is how I would always play at the final table, how I would always play when I'm three-handed, and certainly not how I would always play in a tournament. There's a lot of things that I'm going to do here that are very specific to the final table situation. So your goal in watching this should not be watching with the intention of imitating the specific plays that I'm making, but rather watching with the intention of understanding how I'm assessing this particular final table situation. What are some of the factors I'm thinking about that aren't factors in earlier stages of the tournament, and thinking about how those might apply more broadly, not just when you're in this exact spot, but just generally when you're at a final table. How do you think about other factors like which of your opponents is the one ending up with the chips, and how does the distribution of chips affect the way people are going to play, and things along those lines. So the situation that we have here, you can see I have over 400,000 chips. My next closest competitor is Psycho Benny with 100,000 chips, and then Palmeo here with 70,000 chips. So I have more than twice as many chips as my two opponents combined. What that means is that for my other two opponents, they're kind of playing for second place. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, like I'm so much better than they are, they have no chance of winning. I mean that even if one of these guys manages to double up, he's still not going to have a great shot at winning first place. I'm going to win first place more than twice as often as either of my two opponents is, just based on the number of chips that I have. So even if one of my opponents manages to double up, like let's say that Palmeo or Psycho Benny, either of them, if they get an all-in against me, they're risking getting eliminated in third place. And I don't remember the exact payouts, and I apologize for that because it is important information to have. I do remember that first place was $450,000. I believe second place was somewhere in the neighborhood of $275,000, and I think third place was something like $175,000. So what that means is that the difference between getting in second and third place is about $100,000. That's a pretty big incentive for either Palmeo or Psycho Benny to avoid, like neither of them wants to be the one to go out in third place. There's a huge amount of money involved in one of them sitting back and letting the other one go out first. It's not a guarantee in a tournament that, I mean, I'm not saying you should always play so that you just kind of knit it up and wait for your opponents to bust out. The thing is that in this case, let's say that Psycho Benny gets all in against me. There's a 50-50 chance, or not necessarily 50-50, but whatever it is, he's risking being eliminated entirely, which cost him $100,000. And even if he doubles up, he hasn't doubled his chances of winning first place. He's still going to have half as many chips as I have, and he's still going to be in danger of busting to me. Even if Psycho Benny doubles through me, I'm still going to have more chips than he does.